Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Miftahul Ghanniyah. So in this occasion, I would like to explain my understanding about the reading materials about teaching second language. There is no learning focus from this time reading material, so I will explain it as much as I understand. So we're going to talk about effective teaching. So we're going to talk about what makes a teacher really good at their job. It's not just about one specific way of teaching. It's about how teachers do everything in their classroom, like the decision they make and how they talk to the students, and also even how they manage the class. So we're going to look at a research done in around 1980s and 1970s and what we've learned from studies about how teachers affect students' learning in subjects like math and science. First, there's something called process product research. So this is about finding out what teachers do that helps students learn better. They look at teachers in the 1970s and 1980s, watching how they teach and seeing if it connects to how well students do on tests. So this way, they try to figure out what works best in learning. Later on, they did more research, trying to see what really good teachers do differently. So it's not about teaching the subject, it's also about how they manage the class and what they expect from students and how they help students to understand. And then good teachers know their subject well and know how to explain it in a way that helps students learn. So next is a key evidence from research on teacher effectiveness. There are things that good teachers usually do. They show excitement about what they're teaching and they keep the class in order, and then they believe students can do well. So it's not just about following a list, but more about having a good connection with the students and making the class a positive place to learn. And then the next is criticism of effective teaching data. Some people think this idea of effective teaching is too strict and formal. They say teaching is a creative and spontaneous job, that something you can follow like a set of rules. And others think it's super important that should be taught to every teachers. But what happened right now is not all teachers are trained this way. So next is pedagogical skills of effective teachers. There's also the skills that good teachers have. They know how to explain things clearly, ask questions that help students think, and then also give feedback to help students get better. So it's not just about knowing the subject. It's also about knowing how to teach in a way that students will understand. Next is cooperative learning and the use of groups. So good teachers often have students work together in groups. This helps students be more active in the class, learn from each other, and then improve their social skills. Next is peer tutoring and peer assistance. Teachers also encourage students to help each other. It's not just the teacher doing all the teaching. Sometimes students can explain things to each other, like this called a peer tutoring. And it can be a great way for students to learn from each other. Last one, after the effective teaching, there's also something called assessment of learning. So it's necessary to check if students are really learning. Teachers need to find out if their teaching is working, and they do this through assessment. This means checking how well students understand the lessons. And when the assessment happens regularly and also give feedback to students, it helps them learn better. So in the end, being a good teacher is more than just knowing the subject. It's about how you teach, how you connect with the students, and how you make a positive class environment. And then, yeah, I think that's all. And personally, I've experienced this kind of process of learning in a subject second language acquisition with Pak Hanafi. So we've done things like a group activity, like a peer assessment. So yeah, I think we're we've done the effective teaching process and effective learning process. I think that's all from me. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'm sorry for my mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for watching.